Welcome to our Ask the Expert video series. I'm Colleen Miller. I'm the director of the Disability Law Center of Virginia. The Disability Law Center of Virginia is the Commonwealth's designated protection and advocacy system. We're here to promote and protect the rights of people with disabilities throughout the Commonwealth. One of the ways that we do that is through education and outreach about disability rights issues. So this is your chance to ask the expert. Let's ask the expert about Advance Directives.
Hi everyone. Welcome to part 2 of our Advance Directive video series. I'm Michael Gray, an attorney at the Disability Law Center of Virginia. Today we're going to be going into a little more depth on Advance Directives and capacity. This includes the capacity to make an Advance Directive as well as the role of capacity in switching your Advance Directive on and off. We began our discussion of capacity in part 1, our introduction to Advance Directives. So if you haven't seen that yet, you may want to take a moment and look at it before continuing.
Hi, Michael. I'm interested in making an Advance Directive. I'm just not sure if I'm allowed to. Who can make an Advance Directive?
You know, that's a great question. The short answer is anyone who has capacity can make an Advance Directive. But capacity can mean different things depending on the situation. Usually, having capacity means that you are able to make informed decisions about your own medical care. But for purposes of making an Advance Directive, you may only need to have the capacity to choose someone else to make those decisions on your behalf. Think about it. When you're sick, you might not be able to explain exactly what it is you need to get better, but you might still be able to say who you would trust to make those decisions for you.
How do I know if I have capacity?
Well, in the state of Virginia, the law presumes that you have capacity, unless there's a medical or legal ruling saying you don't. For example, if you have a legal guardian, then you likely do not have the legal capacity to make an Advance Directive. Or if your doctor has declared that you lack capacity, then you may not be able to make a legally valid Advance Directive until you've regained that capacity. In most other cases, though, you can presume that you do have capacity to make an Advance Directive. The fact that you're in a hospital or a training center or jail or correctional facility of some kind does not automatically mean that you don't have capacity to make an Advance Directive. If you aren't sure whether you have capacity or not, you should ask your treatment team. And if you have other questions, you can always call Disability Law Center at 800-552-3962, and we'll be glad to answer any questions you have.
I've heard that capacity or being incapacitated has something to do with Advance Directives being activated. Can you tell me more about that, Michael?
Certainly. While there may be exceptions, your Advance Directive generally goes into effect only when you're unable to provide informed consent. This could mean that you're unconscious, you're unable to communicate, or because you've been determined to lack capacity. Now, to determine that you lack capacity, it takes 2 physicians who must evaluate you and examine you in person and decide that you aren't able to make informed decisions about your own health care. If they agree on that, then they have to tell you and put it in your record.
So, when does my Advance Directive stop working?
Well, your Advance Directive is no longer in effect once you've regained your capacity and the ability to make decisions. The process to show that someone has regained capacity is much easier than establishing that they've lost it. To determine that you have capacity, one physician has to evaluate you and conclude that you're able to make informed decisions about your own health care. Again, the doctor has to tell you his or her decision and put it in your record. Now, once you've been determined to have capacity again, your Advance Directive goes kind of back on the shelf, and you go back to making your own decisions in real time. Now, after you've regained capacity, you'll probably want to review your Advance Directive and see if you want to make any changes based on your experiences. We'll talk some more about making changes in Part 6.
In the Part 1 video, you mentioned that there are different types of Advance Directives. Do other types of Advance Directives see capacity the same way?
Well, the Virginia Healthcare Decisions Act allows you to create the type of advance directive we've been talking about, which goes into effect only when you're unable to make and communicate your own informed decisions. Now, other types of advance directives exist, but they're not used much. For instance, you could draft an advance directive that would stay in effect all the time and control all of your decisions. But most people prefer not to have something like that because it's too restrictive. Like I said, the type of advance directive we've been discussing, and will continue to focus on through the rest of our videos, is only in effect when you need it to be. Thanks for joining us. In our next part, we'll be discussing the main components of an advance directive. If you're ready to view Part 3, you can find it at this link.
If you would like to discuss your disability rights issue, please call the Disability Law Center of Virginia. Our intake hours are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8:30 to 4 p.m. You can call us at 1-800-552-3962, or you can email us at info@dlcv.org. Thanks for watching. This video contains general information for educational purposes. This should not be considered legal advice. It is not a comprehensive statement of the law and may not reflect more recent legal developments. If you have specific questions concerning any matter contained in this video, or if you need legal advice, please consult with an attorney.